Hello, Morris class. Welcome to another history lesson. This is your second history lesson, and today's date is the 7th of January 2021. So our learning objective for today is, can I ask and answer simple questions about space travel? Now, before we begin this video, I would like you to go and grab your necessary things. I know I say this in every single video, but go and grab something to write with and something to write on. So off you go, guys, and join me when you're back. Brilliant. Well done for going and grabbing those things. We are now going to move on to the most important question. What is space travel? Talk to your teddy. So what is space travel? Talk to your teddy or talk to the person in the room or another toy. I can hear some really good ideas coming through the screen. Okay, let's move on to our next slide. It says, oh, let me move my face down here so I can read the question. Can you explain how we know what is beyond Earth? Okay, so Earth is our planet that we live on, and what is beyond it? So what is outside of Earth? So when you look up into the sky, what is outside of Earth? So what is on top of Earth? What is underneath it? What is to the left? What is to the right? How do we know what is beyond Earth? So if we know that there is the moon, how do we know that there is the moon? Talk to your teddy. Oh, I can hear some really good answers coming through the screen. Oh, some of you have mentioned. I can hear that some of you have mentioned there's because we've been into space. That's a good answer. Some of you have mentioned because there's a video. Oh, some people have read some books. Well done. All very, very good answers. Right, let's move on to the next bit. It says, have a think. How do you know that Earth is a planet and it is in the shape of a sphere? So sphere is like a circle, but it's a 3D shape. So talk to your teddy. How do you know, or how do we know as the human race? How do we know that the Earth is a planet, is one planet within our solar system, and that is in the shape of a sphere? Because long before, so in the past, long before any of us were born, scientists or astronomers used to believe that the Earth was flat, that it was flat. But then I might give you the answer, but they later discovered that the Earth is not flat, it is of a different shape. But how did they figure that out? How did they know that? They couldn't have just guessed. What do you think the answer is? Okay, I can hear some really good answers coming through the screen. Okay, we all know the answers to these questions because humans have researched about space and have made stupendous discoveries through space travel. Scientists who study space are called astronomers. Astronomers. Well done. The space race. Well, I'm having to keep moving my face, Morris class. If you see me, oh, let's do a 360. Ready? Ooh. Side now, Morris class. Okay, the space race. During the 1940s to 1960s, the USA, America, and USSR, which is Russia, were extremely excited to learn about space. So much so that both countries were in a race against each other to see who would complete the first successful space mission. Now, space travel was extremely dangerous. Nothing of this sort had ever happened in the history of the planet. USA were the first country to lead a successful space mission. Have a think. Who do you think was aboard the spacecraft? So, when the first ever space mission happened, which was USA, so America led the space mission, who do you think was actually inside the spacecraft? Have you had a guess? Let's see if you are right, Morris class. It was in 1947. That's a very long time ago. The first being to enter space were fruit flies. Fruit flies. So fruit flies are very small flies that you will usually see flying around near fruit or near a really ripe banana. So fruit flies were the first ever living creature to enter space in 1947. Right, animals were sent to space before humans. Animals were used as test subjects to see if a living creature, so something that is alive, breathes, moves, could survive space travel. Animal astronauts led scientists to understand the harsh environment of space. Now, here on the screen, you will see there is a timeline of animal astronauts. So, in 1947, oh, sorry, let's start from here. Sorry, Morris class. We'll start from the very beginning after fruit flies. So, in 1947, fruit flies were the first animal in space. Next, in 1949, so 2 years after the fruit flies, Albert II was the first monkey in space. Next, in 1957, the first dog, who was called Laika, traveled to space. In 1959, Abel and Barker, which were these two lovely little monkeys here, were the first animals to survive a space mission. So before 1959, so that's in 1957, 1949, and 1947, these animals passed away. Okay, they didn't survive the space mission, so that means if they did return back to Earth, they were not alive. They couldn't survive the space mission because remember, this was used as a test to see if a living creature could survive space. Okay, which is very sad, but scientists did have to actually use animals as test subjects to see if what was beyond Earth. They were curious. Okay, and in 1960, Belka and Strelka went with a rabbit, 42 mice, 2 rats and flies, and they all survived. And now underneath you will see that in red, it says the USSR on each picture. And underneath in blue, it says USA. So if it says USSR, that means that the space mission was led by Russia. And if it says USA, that means that the space mission was led by America. Okay, so America, who led the space mission in 1959 with Abel and Barker aboard the spacecraft, were the first animals or creatures to survive a space mission. Okay, and I'll let you read the last one yourself, okay? Now, it's your turn, so you need that piece of paper now and something to write with. So I want you to write today's date, which is the 7th of January, 2021, history at the top, and you can write lesson 2, sorry, if you like, and then you will write, it says, question number 1. How do you feel about animals being sent into space as a form of test subjects? So if I go back one slide, so remember I mentioned that in 1957, Laika, the first dog, in 1949, Albert II, the first monkey, and in 1947, the fruit flies. Those animals did not survive, so they died while in space. Okay, so they didn't survive, so they did not come back alive. So the question is asking, how do you feel about the animals being sent into space as a form of test subjects? Okay, so that question is asking, do you feel sad or do you feel happy that those animals were sent so scientists could learn about the environment in space? How does that make you feel? Now, there is no right or wrong answer to this question. It's just you're using the historic skill of expressing your own feelings and opinions, okay? So once you have written that question down, and you don't have to do it right away, you can take some time to think about this and process this, and then you can write your answer later. So while you're thinking about that, let's move on to question 2. Question 2, would you have preferred humans to go into space first? So again, this is your opinion and it's your ideas and your feelings. So would you have preferred humans to go into space first? Now remember, the first 3 space missions were not successful. So if we had sent 3 humans on those space missions and they died, they didn't come back alive, would you have preferred that to happen, or were you happy, or are you happy, sorry, that animals went first? So that's your opinion to share. So once you've had a really good think about both questions, I would like you to write your answers or opinions rather, on a post-it note or any piece of paper that you have and upload it onto Tapestry if you do challenge 2 or challenge 3. If you are doing challenge 1, then you can record yourself verbally expressing your opinion. Okay, so just ask an adult to record yourself and you could say, I would have preferred humans to go first, for example, if that's how you feel. And then your adult can record you and upload onto Tapestry. Okay, now we have come to the end of our first history lesson for the day. Okay, so this is our lesson 2. Oh, is it lesson 3? No, it is lesson 2. I'm getting myself confused. And thank you very much for joining me. Now, you do have another history lesson, which is the video that we'll be releasing right after this one. That will be our 3rd lesson of history. Okay, so don't get confused. This is lesson 2. We've got 2 history lessons today, just so you don't get confused. So thank you very much for watching Morris class. And I hope you've enjoyed this history lesson. It's so amazing to learn about space travel. And I will see you in the next one very, very soon. Take care for now. Bye.